Sarasota Bay. This is my favorite anchorage. We have a southern wind right now, and there's a cold front that is supposed to come in within an hour or so. So the boat should flip around, and then we'll go sailing. But a few of you on YouTube asked me to do a tour of all the technical stuff and everything I've done on the boat and all the rigging and everything else. So electronics, of course, a bunch of upgrades that I've made in the last couple of years. So I know I've been away for a while. I haven't been doing videos. I've been sailing, nothing big, just mostly local sailing, and no particular reason. But sometimes I just don't feel like doing videos. I'm not inspired. I guess today I am. So anyway, we're gonna go around everything. So let's start from the boat to the stern, and I'll look at everything on deck. And then after that, we'll do inside. So let's start with the bow. So this is what we have here. So I got the Screecher sail here, which is the big sail that comes all the way up to the top shrouds, just outside of that. So huge sail for low wind, low windy days. And that's original. I haven't changed anything here. All the standing rigging I've changed from steel cables to Dyneema. I've done all of it myself, and it's really not hard. There's plenty of videos online how to splice Dyneema. It's fun, it's easy, and you know, it's good that I try to do everything myself on the boat, because when you're at sea out there in remote areas, there's always shit that breaks. So if you know how to fix it, it's a big, huge plus. It also gives you confidence. So I have lots of tools here also. I'll show you later. Okay, so I changed the bowsprit here. It was aluminum. Now it's carbon, and the reason I changed it is because the other one broke. Yes, it broke. It broke because of my own stupidity. I was debugging my app. I have a sailing app, I'll show you later. And it was on a almost no wind day here in Sarasota Bay. And it was, I was going like 2 knots, and I was looking down and looking at the wind sensors and trying to figure out debugging, whatever, testing. And there's a lot of posts here in the bay, and I did hit one, and I hit it right on this line here, and it bent the pole in half, and it crushed all this in here. So it destroyed some of that bracket, and also it ripped the fiberglass. So I rebuilt everything myself here, and I think it's good. I had a shop unbend this. So just to tell you that the best, most entertaining things are not on my channel. I don't have any videos of that, and I frankly, I was too ashamed. This is too stupid. So this is what I did. I'm much more careful now. So I've redone all those lines here that hold the bowsprit. You see it's Dyneema. Okay, all Dyneema. The one under also fixed line Dyneema. This is to lift it. You have to unhook the bottom one. I added this little seat, great seat, favorite place to be. You know, I can just sit like this. You know, sail around. Of course, I wear my PFD and I'm tied to the boat. Okay, anchorage. I got 2 anchors that come to a stainless steel ring there, and got a buoy attached to it, so then I can just unclip, go sailing for a few hours, and come back. So very convenient setup. Paddle board. Okay, what else? Drop my shoe. Got it. Those shoes are great. It's like same material as Crocs. It's not Crocs, it's called Native. There's a fake version everywhere. But these are my favorite sailing shoes, especially here in Florida. As you can see, they float. And this piece here, this ring there, is for the trailer winch. And I pass it through there, and that's what I use to raise the mast. It works really well. It used to be a roller, but this is so much better. So this is what it is. It's just a U-bolt that I've wrapped around a low friction ring, aluminum ring, and I've put a little plastic shrink tubing on it. So this is what you see there. It works really great. I mean, it really, I think every F27 should be converted to use this instead of a roller. And I use a Dyneema line to the trailer winch. So yeah, that's the deal. That's how you do it. Lower the mast through that low friction ring with the Dyneema line. All right, change the anchor. Stainless steel anchor, more expensive. Stainless steel chain. So all the stainless steel on my boat are stainless steel 316 and not 304. 316 is much better. The way I remember, the bigger number, the better. So 304 will rust, will show sign of rust over time with salt water. But 316 is really good. That's been there for many years. As you can see, everything is still pretty clean there. Okay. All right, locker. I got an aluminum anchor, and one of my other anchor is down there. But I got two. One stays home if I go on the trip. But I use those tote bag to store. And I mothball because when I store it, the bees like to come here. Genoa, it's in bad condition. The sail is in good condition, but this is the UV strip that covers the side when you roll it. So you see the strip here. Just need to get it fixed. It will go to the sail shop after this little trip, this little outing. Okay, the nets are original. I haven't changed anything. I think the previous owner changed those. This is how I tie it. I add those plastic tubing to protect against chafing here. I got the same thing here and the same thing down there. I repainted the deck with non-skid paint, Total Boat, the brand. I've added some grit to it, some sand, so it's very rough. More rough than what you're used to. But I like it. I don't want to slip. See, this is ground here, everywhere. And I like it. See, there's a lot of sand here. It's very, very rough, but I like it this way. Rigging, all Dyneema. And I've done this myself. You can see here, I got the lashing here, which has like 5-6 rolls. And I got the big stainless steel rings. These are rated 20,000 pounds, so that should be good. I know there's a little bit of stress points here, but I wash them often. But, you know, same thing with this one. This somebody actually gave it to me. It was an old, but I changed the leashing. So this is how it's done. This, of course, I can tie. This is just wrap, but I can pull on this, and it makes the top shrouds stiffer, more tension. Here I have to untie the lashing and then pull on it. And the way I did it is I stacked one side to the other, and then this becomes loose when the wind is this way, so then I can tie it up. That's how I did it. This is just a rope, a line that goes in the mast, up and down, so which means I can use it to pull a new line in it. I can redo the lines inside. This is my VHF antenna. Of course, all these unscrew when I take down the mast on the trailer. This is all the navigation lights. So there's navigation lights. I got a LED strip here and another one up there. And of course the anchor light at the top of the mast. So if you see at the top of the mast a black box, that's a camera. I'll show you later. It's very cool what I did. I'm quite happy. And in the back I have the ultrasonic wind sensor. Furuno radar. This is their first watch radar. It's, I think, one of their cheapest, just over $1,000. But it works on Wi-Fi and it has an iPad, iPhone app. So you don't need a special unit, electronic unit out there to connect to it. And frankly, I adopted this philosophy. My sensor up top in the mast is Bluetooth. It connects to an app. and this one is Wi-Fi. So all my electronic is iOS based. This is the halyard for the mainsail. This is, as you can see, the line to bring up the dagger board. This is the line to bring down the dagger board. It's locked there, so but it goes down. And this is the halyard for the screecher, which is my big sail up front. I got a cover on the mainsail to protect from UV. I use those Velcro wrap around in a lot of places you'll see inside the boat. I have lots of those. This is the shroud that goes here and up to mid-mast. That's the inner forestay. But I rarely use it. I would use it if I had a storm sail, but it's kind of useless and it really gets in the way when you do tacks with the Genoa. I can do automatic tack where I roll the Genoa up to here. I can flip it without any obstruction. So that works well when you have to go through, Sarasota Bay. There's a couple passages there that are pretty narrow and often upwind. I can just do a bunch of tacks by just steering. I used to have like screw-on plates, white, when I bought the boat, and they were getting UV damaged. They were getting powdery, so I changed those to these, which I think it's a great addition. It comes with a little pocket. I put my dock lines in here. And there you go. Great modification addition. Again, just showing you the details here. Okay. What else? Same thing here, new rigging. I've done that a couple years ago. I have a short video on that. There you go. This is the halyard for the screecher. Just keep it there. This is fantastic. I did that like, I don't know, 5 years ago. Perfect. I love it. It's great when it rains, when it's windy, when you're tired. You can just pop your head in there and you can see everything, including the sails, and you're sheltered from the cold even. So this is a big must. When it's super sunny too, if you're tired to be there, you can be in there. It's like UV protected. Okay, cockpit area. I think I got everything here. Just a little view here. Okay. This is what I see from the cockpit. Okay. I'll get to the electronics later. I add this when I sail, because you know what happens otherwise. I got my winch. This is a one-touch winch. It kind of locks on it, so you can't pull it. I recommend, I love it. It's nice. And little cushion, I added this last week. You can buy that for cheap. It's like always like $50 for this whole thing. And I wish I have done that before. These are the leftovers that because I often sit like, so little cushion for my butt, this for the back. So anyway, this is big plus. I should have done this before, because often I'm on my knees here and I do wear knee pads, but this is so great. Okay, I got my control lines for the Genoa, control line for the screecher here. I got the furler for the screecher, and I got the furler for the Genoa. Genoa control line, mainsail here. Up, see? Up and down the dagger board, right? I bring it up when I'm at anchor, otherwise the barnacles attack it. And this is what I do when I store the boat, when I'm not on the boat. I kind of do a figure 8 with a loop and I wrap it in there instead of just, because I've seen too many boats that are left unattended and they didn't secure this properly, and then you have the Genoa that unfurls into a big windy day and it just destroys their sail. you know, you have a sail flopping around for a few hours to 24 hours, your sail is done. I take no chance. I do this. This cannot untie. And of course, if you see one of those sails that are unrolled, you should jump on the boat and fix it. And that's, every sailor will appreciate you're doing that. This is the cockpit. This is, it turns into a storage area most of the time. This is my bag for the spinnaker, which I rarely use. And then you see there's a bed down there. This is a seat. There's sleeping bags, storage, raft, plastic box for storage anyway. But you know, I can easily clear this up if I go for multiple days of sail with my wife. We clean this up. All right. Oh. Okay, what else? Yamaha 9.9 high thrust long shaft. Works really well. I'm happy. I bought it just about 10 years ago. The story behind this outboard is I was with my wife actually sailing to Key West, and it was the first time I would go to Key West. And I remember talking to some sailors that were saying that's a big deal, going to Key West, sail overnight, blah, blah. And when you get to Key West, there's a lot of coral reefs all around, and there's a passage that says, don't get there at night, it's too tricky. And of course, I got there at 2 a.m. And my engine didn't start. I couldn't start the engine. I worked on it for hours. I couldn't get it to start. And so on the sail, approaching Key West, made it through the channel, etc. And then I anchored out just outside Key West, and then I called Boat USA, boat towing the next day, and they towed me to port. And then I tried to work on the engine for a day or so. I'm like, screw it. And I bought one in Key West. Of course, I didn't get a great price, but this is the one. It's been working well since. And it's not as loud as the old one, so it's good. It's solar panels. These are new from 6 months ago. I got 300 watts of solar panel. I went from 50, 100 to 300. And I now have 3 batteries of 100 amp hour each. Lithium. So I got so much more power. This is a Blink camera. You don't have to subscribe to their program because I'm a budget sailor. I like to not pay much for especially subscription and stuff like that. So this is like a $30 camera, and it runs on battery. The battery lasts a year, and I've had those for over a year, and they do last over a year. Just take the pole. I have another one on top of the mast. 2 more in the cabin here. I'll show you. And I have a Starlink. So, which means I can monitor the boat when I'm not on the boat. I can monitor it from anywhere. I can look at the camera when it's on anchor. I see the whole deck. I see how it's placed. And anyway, it's such a cheap solution, and it works great. That's where we are. I think every sailor that cares for their boat and wants to invest a little bit should think about that. But I'll go through with this later. Old Garmin GPS works fine. Depth Finder, Striker 4, Garmin. Old iPad and iPad mini there. So I run a bunch of applications. I got a couple videos. I run Navionics boating for the maps, and I run my app tcSpeeds. This little line here. Okay. You know what? I should go inside. We'll see a little bit better.